with the new adapter. I got a new adapter.
Oh, okay.
I hadn't tested it. Welcome to Jtwes Monday Night Live, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Looking forward to chatting with y'all tonight. Hope you like the picture of the garlic with the little
Oh yeah, little
raindrops on it.
yeah. It's a little hope of green.
Yeah, a little bit of hope of evergreen in the garden there. We like that. Of course, I didn't go study. Sammy went and took the picture, so I didn't go look at the onions and see if they're greening back up a little bit.
We've got Jason McDonald in, says hey.
Jason
And
McDonald.
Jason McDonald has been our first one on here for several Monday nights in a row.
Monday nights?
Yes, he's our winner of just, bragging rights, Jason. Stan is on here.
Hey, Stan.
Stan says, early this evening, I've been having issues with the lives on my TV, as you know. Now I cannot find my comments on one of Joey's videos. I don't know, Stan. We don't delete any comments, so unless you dropped a bomb on there or something,
Stan, you may
I wouldn't delete anything.
You may have accidentally attached it to somebody else's comment and didn't know it.
Could be.
I have seen you do that before, but that's okay.
Yeah. Which, I did that recently to somebody. I think I texted, or it might have been at work. I was trying to send something to one person, and I had too many messages going at once. So I sent the wrong thing to the wrong person, like I switched it up. Luckily, it wasn't anything like,
Well, I had a comment
bad
today
or...
that was totally not relevant to what my video was, so I just figured somebody commented on the wrong short.
Yeah. I could see that happening. I mean, I could see myself doing that. Let's see. Sundowner is on.
Hey, Sundowner.
Says, whoop, whoop, got to get my Monday night fix. Good evening, everyone. Hope life is a blessing for you this year.
It is.
And just, oh, go ahead.
You'll have to get your Monday night fix next week, Tuesday night.
Yes, let's say that early and we'll say it again at the end. We're going to do Tuesday night next week. We've got something going on Monday.
Christmas carol.
Yeah, we'll be Christmas caroling Monday, and that's always fun. So, and I'm sure we won't be home in time to even do a late one, so we'll just say Tuesday. That is Christmas Eve, so...
Yeah, we won't stay on too long.
No.
I plan on cooking a brisket all night, Christmas Eve night, to have it Christmas, so maybe we'll show a little bit of that.
Maybe, yeah.
Towards the end, we can just pick that up and carry it in the kitchen.
Okay. Yeah, and so we'll plan on 8 o'clock still?
Yeah.
Or should we change it to any earlier?
No, that'll be fine.
8 o'clock?
Because I want to get the brisket out and
Okay.
start trimming on it right at 9.
Okay,
And we can show that at the end.
So we'll do that Tuesday, and if
And there'll be some people visiting kinfolks and stuff, and some people at home. So.
Yeah, and just make sure, if you haven't already, go to Joey's channel and check the little icon that's got a bell for reminders. And so that way, whenever we're going to be live, it'll send you a, I think it's 30-minute reminder. So that way, Tuesday, because it's Tuesday, you might forget.
Yeah, I get an email myself when I go live, and I'm like, yeah, I know I went live. I'm the one that did it.
Brian is on.
Brian.
Farm Boy 59 says, good evening. Hope you're doing well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hit the thumbs up button. And Joseph Lott is on.
Joseph Lott.
Good evening, everyone. Welch Farm NC is on.
Hello, Welch Farm.
And Paul Ford.
And I did save that information.
And Joe with the W.
Did you say Paul Ford was in?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Joe, he was the W, but now he's added Joe to his name, so now we know his name's Joe.
Oh, well. We know where you got the Joe from.
Yeah, says good evening, y'all.
Hey, W.
IP Farms is on.
Hey, Nelson.
And John Briggs.
Nelson got a video of some, I think, hydraulic problems. I hadn't watched it yet, Nelson, but I intend on to.
And, yeah, John Briggs says, good evening, guys. And John Briggs, I didn't get to tell you, but I really liked your shirt Sunday. It was very Christmassy, but it was it was like the colors of Christmas, but it was a checkered shirt. Mm-hmm. But he was talking to someone. I didn't want to interrupt just to say, hey, John, I like your shirt. But,
wow, somebody stopped me and told me I look like Hoss Cartwright.
Well, I tried not to interrupt people if I can help it.
It hurt my feelings a little bit.
Yeah, you went from Matt Dillon
I went from Matt Dillon to Hoss Cartwright. And Hoss was a big old boy.
Well, in your 50s, you're allowed,
well,
to look a little bit plumper, maybe. I don't
Matt
know.
never did have a beard. I don't know where he get that from. So he never had a beard.
Yeah, I think it was just your tallness, maybe.
The only time I ever seen James Arnez with a mustache was when he did a show after Gunsmoke in the 80s. I forget what it was called, but he had a mustache there.
Yeah, 80s, everybody had a mustache. Yeah. Joey Neal is on.
Hey, Joey Neal.
Says hello, Joey and Lino and everyone else. And Joey and Martha sent us the nicest Christmas card.
Yeah, I sent him a message today.
Did you? I just thought it was so sweet. And on the back it had the lighthouse and them at the beach. And we know that was their first time getting to go. So I was really, I really liked that card. It was very lovely. Thank you.
Took us forever to get it from the post office.
Yeah, I just kept forgetting to stop at the post office and stop. You know, I just kept forgetting.
And it's on our way to church, so
yeah,
you know, not hard. We go by there at least, you know, Wednesday and Sunday for sure.
And look, our post office is like Little House on the Prairie.
Oh
it is
gosh.
like this big.
Yeah.
I don't know how many, maybe 50 boxes. And they leave the front door unlocked all the time.
Well, all post offices.
Oh, do they? Oh, okay. I just didn't know if that was normal.
Well, it may change from state to state, depending on where it's at.
Because in our post office, they have like a copier and stuff in there.
Yeah.
But, you know, they just
use it.
Yeah, they just let everybody go in there. But anyway.
And the reason why nobody steals those boxes you were talking about, those are the super expensive boxes to ship. The flat rate boxes, nobody ships nothing flat rate.
Oh, okay.
Penzines is expensive.
Well, and last time I went in there to send a package and get some stamps or something, he's like, oh, here. He recognized Jtwes. I got something for you. Hold on. And I was going to check the box on my way out, but he went and got it for me. So it was nice. Timbo is on.
Hey, Timbo.
Howdy, neighbors. And Nick Blanton is on.
Big Nick's on here tonight. Hey, Nick.
Kevin Wallace is on.
Kevin Wallace.
Good evening, Joey and Lino. Hope y'all are doing good tonight. T. Hawkins is on.
T. Hawkins.
And Will is on. Says, what up, Mama and Papa?
Yeah. Waiting on you to come over here. That's what's up. Can't none of my kids come see me no more.
And
bet y'all be here Christmas Day.
Yes, they better be if they're around. I mean, if they're in town, they better be coming over Christmas.
That ain't what I was talking about.
Greg Mosier's on.
Hey, Greg.
Hey, Joey and Lino and everyone. I hope everyone is doing well.
We are. Thank you, buddy.
And William May says, good evening and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, William May.
Haggy Farm is on.
Haggy Farm.
Farm Life with Avery.
Hey, Avery.
It says, hey, guys. And Jay Peel's on. Good evening. Hope you're all well.
Jay Peel from the motherland.
Yeah, and Jay Peel, I hope you're staying healthy. I see, you know, I get some British news every once in a while, and I know there's a lot of sickness going on. It's like...
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's worse than a cold, but it's not COVID. It's just like a super bug that's hitting Britain quite hard right now. So, if you know, wash those hands, Jay Peel. Sundowner says, that's just so you know to start telling Lino to get ready, LOL. Dakota Hallman is on.
Hey, Dakota.
And
Is that new?
I think I've seen Dakota's name before. Warhorstead is on.
Hey, Warhorstead.
Hope everyone is doing well. Pat Doka is on from the warm during the day, Glendale, Arizona.
Yeah, Mr. Pat Doka.
Says Merry Christmas.
Dry air.
Yeah.
Warm temperatures.
No grass to mow.
Yeah, no grass to mow.
Sundowner says, that's why your reminder comes on, Joey. I guess just to help you remember.
Yeah. Well, I like to miss the live tonight because I was watching, I love watching SpaceX launch a rocket. And I like catching them live. I mean, it's no good after, I like watching them live. But I try to watch most of those launches I can. And sure enough, they had one in the sky right when it was time to do live. And so I had to rush over here.
Orbra is on.
Hey, Orbra.
Hello, Jtwes. Ralphin90, which is Paul, said, I didn't have a mustache in the 80s. Good evening. You probably couldn't grow one yet in the 80s, Paul. I mean, he's
Paul's
probably...
not that old. He's
no,
pretty young.
yeah. Oh, yeah. John said, thank you. Sister liked it, too. Yeah. Women notice that kind of thing. Ooh, I love that shirt. That's a nice shirt.
I guarantee she did.
And then even, like, Mr. Holman, he'll wear some colorful checker. And I'm like, oh, Mr. Holman, I like that shirt. Joey Neal says, how did you send me a message? I haven't received it.
Oh, it's just on the comments.
Oh, okay. To what video?
To the one I just did.
Okay, last video, Joey Neal. J. Pill says, you mean you don't get mail delivered right to your door?
Oh, yeah, we
Yeah.
do, J-Pill.
Yeah, we just set up the P.O. box for the YouTube, just so that way if we needed it for anything. And
Yeah, which 99% of the people in here now, I wouldn't care where they know where I live. Or
yeah,
not.
yeah, that's just like a
That's for that
for the
minute
future.
1%.
Yeah, future. Because a lot of you do know our address. You've either
Yeah.
been here or you have sent us stuff here. Like we'll say, oh, just use our home address. But you know, like if it becomes like a general public thing, you just can't be too careful. Farm Life with Avery says, can you hook a PC up to a TV?
Yeah, yeah, I suppose you can, Avery. You just have to set the resolutions and things like that. I mean, especially if your PC's got an HDMI out, it'll run on any TV.
So, HDMI
Yeah.
hook up.
High definition multi-interface.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
I only know it costs DirecTV.
Like one time at my work Christmas party, I come home and I was so excited because I won something and it was a Comcast or Chromecast. Well,
Yeah.
and Joey's like, we already got that, or you just do it from your phone or something. I was like, oh man, I was so excited. I won a electronic, but then Joey burst my
Golly, I
bubble.
don't even know if anybody uses Chromecast anymore.
Yeah, he
man.
burst my bubble on that. So I just gave it away to somebody who didn't have anything like that. Nick Bland says, y'all pray for James with more farmalls. I spoke to him a couple times today, and he's got the flu.
Oh, man.
Ugh, still in recovery, too.
Yeah. We definitely will, Nick. Thank you for telling me. I'll send him a text.
Yeah, and Avery says he'll be praying for James, too. And Joe with the W says, how's your onions doing? All of mine were lost with the hard freeze we had.
Well, believe it or not, Lino asked me the same thing last week. I don't worry about freezing with those onions because last year, you know, I really planted them too shallow. I mean, I barely had the tip of the bulb stuck in the ground. And they made it through all that freezing and stuff last year. So, I mean, I think they're pretty resilient when it comes to that. What just about killed mine, if it didn't kill some already, I got to check, is me not watering them when I planted them. It got dry on them, and that's hurt them more than anything. Hurt them way more than any cold weather has. But I think now you've seen some videos where I've seen some new little roots coming out on them, so I hope they're okay.
Sorry.
You're going to have to go off camera and cough.
Yep. I just swallowed wrong. J. Pill says we're all well here at the moment. Thanks.
Good.
Yeah, good. And Martin Farm LC is on.
Martin Farm.
Says, hello, Joey and Lino. We enjoyed your review of the 140. Excellent job.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I had a little help on the inspiration with that video, so it worked out real good and enjoyed it. And there was, believe it or not, there was a lot of other stuff I could have said and thought about saying, but I knew by the time I did everything I wanted to do, I said, man, this video is going to be the longest video I ever made, and it was 55 minutes. But I did that video for what I call a long-reaching video, something that people that's new to the game of a Farmall 140, if they ever searched it out, they could find it and watch that video. So hopefully that'll be, you know, something that can be reviewed years down the road for people.
Sundowner says we sure had them their mullets back then. Mullets.
Yeah.
Mullets are coming back.
I never had one.
There's a little boy at our church, Alex. He just is walking now. He is so cute. But he had on this cute little outfit Sunday, and his hair is like, I don't think he's had his first haircut, and it just kind of naturally is a mullet, and it's all blonde, and it's so cute. He just looks so cute walking through there. But no, I would not be happy with Sam getting a mullet or
Yeah,
growing a
I never
mullet. I
had a
wouldn't like
mullet.
that. Mm-mm. And Elliot's hair isn't a mullet right now. It's just long. Elliot looks like the Bee Gees right now. His
Yeah.
hair is like almost to his shoulders. But he's always grown his hair out long in spurts. You know, like when he was, I mean, we let his hair grow out long. When was it? Like,
Oh gosh, he's had it long when
I
he
mean,
was
like when he's,
2, 3,
yeah.
4, 5,
He
6.
just had the prettiest hair. It was
Yeah, he's
all
had it long several times.
that brown silky hair. And then when we'd go to the beach and he'd be doing his little skimboarding, he looked
Yeah.
like he belonged in California.
There was times where it was so long he'd be slinging it
Yeah,
out of his
slinging it.
face.
He's like this, you know, talking to us. Um, Paul says, I missed the 80s by a couple months, LOL. Sundowner says,
Paul's
yeah.
that on the low side of the 80s or the high side? Which side did you miss it on?
Yeah, Sundowner says, LOL, just a couple months.
Because I missed the 60s on the low side pretty close.
Yeah. Let's see. Johnny Edgerton's on.
Hey, Johnny. Johnny said he was worried I broke my transmission.
Yeah.
No, it could use some work though, Johnny. But no, I hadn't broke it. But it could use a little bit.
Did I say Johnny's on? Johnny
Yeah.
Edgerton? Oh, yeah, that's who you're talking about. Okay. Sundowner said, bless you. I guess they thought I was sneezing. I wasn't.
Yeah,
I was
no.
coughing.
No, if Leno swallows just a little bit wrong, she coughs.
Yeah. And usually it's coffee because y'all know how much coffee I drink. And one time I thought I was going to die in my kitchen. Sam was little, and it was just me and Sam home. And I took a big swallow, and it went down the wrong way. And I could not catch my breath. And I was wheezing. I mean, my eyes were watering. And Sammy's just like so little there. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die in the kitchen, and nobody's here with Sam. But, you know, I just have to try to not panic when I do that and breathe through my nose. And I'll eventually be okay. It's kind of, I can't do it right now because we're talking so much. But
Well, you're okay now, right?
yeah, I'm fine now. Stan says the 80s were a blur to me. 2 jobs, newer home, lots of travel. Just crazy as I can remember. Was that the decade between the 70s and 90s?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I think we got us an 80s style president right now.
Yeah.
He is reminding me more and more. I watched the interview with him today, and it was so good to just have some just frank answers, just not beating around the bush, not bloviating, just frank answers. And some guy asked him something about what he was going to do, and he's pretty much, "Are you kidding me? Did you just ask me that?" He said, "Why am I going to tell you what I'm going to do?"
J. Pill says, because the video was so interesting, it didn't seem like 55 minutes at all.
Well, thank you, JPL.
That's sweet, J. Pill. Warstead says, I have a question for the 140 experts.
Uh-oh.
I recently purchased a fast hitch with a helper spring, and the spring adjustment bolt is bent. Can remove the tensioner bolt without compressing the spring. So can they remove the tension bolt without compressing the spring?
Yeah, I think that spring, let's see, when Nick may be able to jump on and comment too. It's either when it's all the way down or all the way up. Yeah, it's not going to pop off like a coil spring, if that's what you're asking. No, you can just loosen it on up. It doesn't have a lot of travel on it. I mean, it's very small amount of travel. When I get the fast hitch for the Super A, we are going to do one comparison video between the two tractors, and that's going to be, does a helper spring help that much, or how much does a helper spring help? Because I do have that 122 disc that will tell the story of how much it will help. We can try a couple of different discs and stuff, because the Super A is not going to have a helper spring, but the 140 has one. One reason why I'm not is because it's so hard to find that rock shaft that has the clevis hook on it for the helper spring that's not already wore out. So the rock shaft that's on the Super A now, I dare say it's never had a bar in it, and the hole's perfect and just factory perfect, and so I opted not to do a helper spring because of that rock shaft. Did I lose you?
Yeah, I was daydreaming.
God, I can't even
I was
talk about a
thinking, like,
tractor 3 minutes.
I was like, what do I got to get tomorrow? Oh, yeah, okay. Paul says there's a 90 in my username for a reason.
Oh, real
So
fan
he's a
90.
baby.
Yeah, he is.
Pecan Grove says, y'all made me feel old. I was in my mid-20s in the 80s.
Oh, Danny, you're not old. I wouldn't call you old as much as stuff you do.
Will says, I don't remember the 80s.
Yeah, well,
He was like,
he dresses like the 80s.
well, in the 80s, he was like -20, so.
I guess what I like most about the 80s, which I still try to like it today, is the wonderful McDonald's, the wonderful Kentucky Fried Chicken, everything fried in beef tallow. The bread would actually mold if you left it out.
Oh, it still molds.
Not McDonald's bread.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
not it.
McDonald's
No,
bread,
yeah.
you can use it
Yeah.
for like shields.
Right.
You could probably actually use it for like if you was welding and you needed to shield something. But no, just all of the, in Pizza Hut. Pizza Huts, man, get your pizza out there quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sit down. I guess, and I miss Kmart. Kmart's hunting section, fishing section, had some Zepco 202s, 404s.
I miss.
And they had a deli.
Sundowner says, hey, y'all ever put that figurine in any of the shows? I'm just asking.
What figurine?
You had said that you were going to put a little tobacco barn in a video.
I have not, Sundowner.
No, that's why he does not need to come up with any ideas off the cuff on live, because then he's not going to follow through with them unless I remind him.
Yeah, I forgot.
So, yeah.
We're going to do it.
All right, so you're saying it now that you're going to put...
remind me every video, whether I do it or not.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So every video I make, you're going to have to remind me, tobacco barn.
Okay, and the first person who emails you that with it somewhere in the background, it's not going to be, he's not going to hold it up, say, here's the tobacco barn.
It'll be hidden. It'll
Yeah.
be an Easter egg.
Right, so first person who emails him with the Easter egg, you'll send him what? A Jtwes something?
A hat.
A hat, okay. Yeah. All right, that sounds good. So,
golly.
Sundowner.
Sundowner, thank you.
Thanks for the reminder.
For getting me straight.
And Sundowner also says, OMG, I just did that too, Lino. Thought I was a goner. Holy moly, it was bad. With the swallowing the wrong. And it's, like...
How y'all managing to do this?
I don't know. I think just some people do it more than others. That just maybe the way you swallow, or if you're trying to hurry up and swallow because you're talking. I don't know. But, yeah. If it's just even a little bit is what just happened earlier. Mm-hmm. But if you get a whole big gulp, it's bad. And it takes forever to recover from it. You're like, an hour later, you're still, coughing a little bit and clearing your throat. Brian says, thank you for your prayers for Mom. She is out of the hospital and in rehab.
Good deal, Brian.
Today she was walking the halls with assistance. Thank God for his blessings. She's
going to be running the halls here.
I know. We're so glad. We're so glad that she's doing good and continuing to improve. Timbo says 35 days and Big Daddy Don is back in the house.
Yeah, he said today, and it pretty much tells you all you need to know. Somebody asked him about those drones in New York, and I'm ad-libbing here, but he pretty much said the government knows what they are. They know where they come from. They know where they launched. They know where they went, but they just don't want to tell you. I don't know why they want to tell you, but that's which one I'm telling you. And then the lady asked him, she said, well, had you had any briefings on the drones? And he said, I don't comment. So his first comment pretty much told you what his briefing said.
Right,
probably.
Yeah.
And he said, I don't know why they want to keep everybody in suspense and just tell you what they are.
I don't know. I don't know why they do most of the stuff they do.
Yeah, he said that.
Nothing surprises me anymore.
He said the military knows what it is, the president knows what it is, and why he won't tell you, I don't know.
Well, at least but that says a lot about Donald Trump, is that he's not just coming out and like overriding the president
Yeah.
already. Even though most people are acting like he's already president, he's still being kind of respectful of the position.
Yeah, he is.
And I'm very proud of him for that
And
because, you know,
and
it'd be
today
hard.
he did come out and he asked Joe Biden. He said, "Would you stop selling the wall parts?"
Mm-hmm.
And because there's the parts that they had stockpiled to build that wall, and they
Yeah.
cut it off. The government's selling it for like he says 5 cents on the dollar. So
Well, of course
just
they
dirt
are.
cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said some of the people that has bought it are contacting his people saying, "Well, we'll sell it back to you." And
Oh, what, for full price,
well,
probably?
he said, yeah, he said, and he said, no. He said, we just, you know, he said, just stop selling it.
Yeah.
You saved the taxpayers a bunch of money.
Right.
But
That's
yeah, he's
ridiculous.
doing pretty good.
Let me find where I was at. Sundowner says, "Yep, Danny, 1961 here.
Sundowner 61.
Born in 61.
Sundowner, you got me by 10 years.
So there's 63. Yeah, 63. Joey Neal says, "You did a great job on the video. I enjoyed it very much."
Thank you, Joey.
Nick Blanton says, "Yes, the bolt will thread right out. Just be careful not to wring it off. Sock it good with penetrate oil."
Good.
Or
thank
soak
you.
it. I think it means soak it. And I
Yeah,
can't
he did.
I
Soak
can't
it.
see.
Thank you, Nick, because I didn't think it had pressure on it or like, you know, like a coil spring on a car or something, but I didn't want to tell him to do something and not fully know. I just wanted a reason why, guys, I tend not to do these type videos because whatever I tell you, I want to be right. Somebody commented on that video that y'all talking about, and he said he had new ground and it was kind of hilly. Would the 140 be okay with that? And again, you want to be careful what you tell somebody. You don't want to just say, "Sure, it'll be fine, ride out." You know, and I just basically told him, "Look, yes, it's a little tricky on the hill. You need to be careful because all your weight's on the engine side, and I don't know the angle what is too much for the tractor, but I do know when I'm on a hill, I try to keep it with the engine side up the hill if I am cultivating or something on a hill. But I don't think it'd take. I wouldn't want to put that thing on a hill that you can put utility tractors on. I'll put it that way."
Johnny says, "Thomas is counting the days down to his birthday, Wednesday.
Wednesday is
He will
Thomas's
be
birthday.
7. So he's a Christmas baby. Wednesday is Oh no, that's this
This
week.
could be this.
Okay,
Wednesday.
so what's that? Today's the 16th. So that's 18th.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's a week before Christmas.
Happy early birthday, Thomas.
Yes, happy early birthday, Thomas. I almost called him Tom because
Yeah.
of Thomas Henry. Yeah, so, and I know a lot of people who have around Christmas birthdays, they get a little salty about it because everybody's
Yeah.
like, this is your Christmas and your birthday
I
present.
think Natalie's is 27th or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
27th
I think so.
or
Yeah.
28th, one or the other.
Yeah, I think it's the 28th. And Brian says, "Joey, your mic seems a little weak tonight."
It could be. I don't know. I got a different iPhone, and I'll put it closer to me.
And Thomas Bledsoe says, "I was in my 30s in the 80s, LOL."
Thomas said he was in his 30s.
Uh-huh. And Brad Beeson says, "Good evening from Blues Creek.
Blues Creek.
I enjoyed the 140 info. I'd love to find a 120 disc. They appear to be hard to find."
Yes, if you're talking about the 122, they are. I was very Stan sure blessed me with the one I got, and it's a nice disc, and they're heavy and they're built well, and but there's some King disc out there that are real nice too. I actually had one, a King disc, that was every bit as heavy as that 122, and some of my older videos, if you'll go back to about the beginning of the channel, you'll see that King disc, and it cut pretty good.
Avery says, "I have exams the rest of the week." Boo, Avery. Stay on track. Let me give him the same speech I give Sam. Don't stay up too late. Stay on track.
Yeah.
I know it's, close to the winter break. Keep your head down, keep doing it. Because Sam has AB honor roll.
Yeah.
And I'd really love for him to finish his junior year with AB honor roll. And Sam also has honors classes, which tend to be harder. So, but I don't think Sam's going to go to a 4-year school, so it really doesn't matter
And
about
Sam lost
honors.
his report card. I wished I could have lost mine. Yeah, gone.
Yeah, they would put it around your neck with a little lock.
Yeah, I wish I could, because really, you'd near about have to go to school get another one back then. They didn't
Well,
have
but
it
now
online.
I can go online
I
and
know,
see.
that's what I'm saying. You couldn't do it. Boy, I wished I'd have lost mine.
Or if the years I do get it, or the semesters I do get his report card, it has been folded up into a tiny square like this big and in his back pocket or something. But yeah, I think Sammy is leaning towards welding. So that would be, he's already taken some welding classes at the community college that is right beside their high school. So he's already taking that, and he's about to start, what is it called? TIG welding? MIG welding. MIG welding. He's about to start that.
So next time I weld something on the channel here, we'll get Sammy to do it and see how it comes out.
Yeah, I mean, I think he could do it good. I know him and one boy have to share the left-handed booth.
Yeah.
I believe. Let me see where I was at.
What you checking? Text
Nothing. Avery says, I want the winner to be me. Avery, look out for it. It's a little bitty tobacco barn. It used to be, your tobacco seeds used to be in it. It's like cardboard.
No, it's plastic.
Oh, is it plastic?
Hard plastic.
Okay.
The roof of the barn comes off, and it leaves the square part, and you put the A roof back on it.
Okay, yeah, I figure the cardboard wouldn't have lasted that long.
Yeah. They had some cardboard tubes, I think, little round tubes. It looked like snuff cans. They had some of them. Brian, is that better where Mike is at now?
Yeah, and Sundowner was saying that he's been looking but can't find it anywhere, the thing. Joseph Lott says, the 80s, I got out of high school, graduated from 2 tech colleges, and got my first full-time job as an electrician. And those were the days, too. Those were the days where if you went to work, you could make the money, you know.
Electrician nowadays, a real good electrician, boy, they could just about write their paycheck. I mean, they could just about write how much,
right.
This is how much you're going to pay me.
Yeah, because it's one of those skills that are a dying skill amongst, a lot of people. Yeah. So the people who do it, they, are in high demand. And it's kind of the same thing with welding, too.
Oh, yeah, all that. Welding, plumbing, electrician, concrete work.
And I think we're going to see a shift of guys, even guys who didn't, grow up in the country and, have, the background of doing some stuff already before school. Like Sammy, has seen you weld before he went to school, or started taking these classes. But I think you're going to start seeing a shift to that because the trade is where you go, you can, have a decent bill for it. Like community college isn't that expensive. And you won't have all this college debt.
Well, I also know that these people that own an electrical business or a plumbing business or a concrete business, the owners, they can be very influential on their workers. I'll give you an example. I was in Charlotte doing a couple of big buildings down there, a fire install system, and the guys that were doing the brickwork down there, the masonry work, man, I'm telling you, Leno, they had khaki pants. They were all between 20 and 30 years old, young guys. I mean, looked like military dudes. Khaki pants, polo shirts, nice work boots, the whole crew.
Yeah, you'll definitely pay extra for them. They got it together.
Oh, it was about 20 of them. It was black, white, Mexican. It was all different. And they just, everything, you could just tell they were a top notch. And I thought to myself, I said, whoever owns that company has really invested into some people.
Yes, and they have. And you can always trace back the investment into people on businesses. Like I feel right now there's a lot of businesses who are feeling the results of them not investing in people, losing people who really were dedicated or have put in a lot of years or have really tried to make a difference. And then even those people who aren't gone yet, they just feel like they're just, making it through the day just because, why even try anymore? So I think any of us who are business owners, we need to keep that in mind too. Invest in your people,
Yeah.
and it'll be a return in the long run. Let me see where I was at again. Yeah, Orber says, I was wondering if I was the only one looking for that tobacco barn.
Oh gosh, y'all make me feel bad. My memory just slipping. But Lino is in charge of it now.
All right, yeah,
Will,
I won't let that go by the
yeah, she
wayside.
will make sure that I do that.
Mary Hodges says, my fiance Tommy wants to know how he could get that front pulley off.
Oh wow, Mary, if you're talking about the front pulley on the engine, I have a video of
You talk about
me
that.
and Roger pulling a front pulley off of a Super A, which is going to be probably about the same thing. And what we had to do it and what we used to do it, it was last winter about this time. There's 3 videos of us working on a Super A tractor. And the pulley is probably in the second video. It's either in the end of the first video or in the second video. Watch that, and that should help you out a ton. And I actually, what I used to do it, I stole the ideal off of Just a Few Acres with Pete. He was taking one off of a Super C tractor, I think. He also has a video redoing a Super C tractor that has him taking that pulley off.
Hold on, give me a second.
It was Mary.
Thank you. Sundowner says, yes, it goes down your windpipe and it hurts and no air can get in your lungs. Sundowner's still tore up about this.
Yeah.
So he feels me on this. He's like, oh, a kindred spirit, because I know exactly how that happens. Because it doesn't happen, like to some people, when it does happen, they're prone to it. And
Yeah.
I know I'm prone to it, so I try to be mindful when I'm drinking stuff. And Timbo calls it the gozzle pipe.
Gozzle pipe.
You know Timbo and his names and stuff. He's brilliant at that. So we'll say next time it went down my gozzle pipe.
Your gizzard didn't catch it.
Stan says, Danny, in the 80s, I had 3 active duty tours behind me and theoretically able to retire. You are not old. My baby is 58.
Yeah, no, I watched Danny do too much building on his place to say he's too old.
Well, and Stan too. I mean, Stan
Yeah,
gets...
Stan does quite a bit.
Yeah, he gets around, gets things done. I mean, he's very active,
Just
so...
getting them tractors loaded and stuff.
Yeah, and I think if you just keep yourself active, and a lot of times, and I know our bodies do wear out. I mean, I've got things going on in my body. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm officially old. But if it is a kind of a mindset too. Like if you surrender to that, oh, I just can't do this anymore. I just can't. I can't. Then your body will follow.
Yeah.
You'll start believing what your mind is saying. So
The only thing I hate is when I say hate. I don't mean it like that. The only thing sometimes I see folks that they have the ability to retire, they have the monetary ability to retire. They don't have to work, and they're just working till they're almost 70, and then they finally retire, and then they got a couple of years, and then they get sick or something. I'm like, man, just go. If you can retire, just go on and retire and.
Well, I don't
enjoy your life.
My dentist is 75.
Is he?
And he has no plans to retire yet, but he lives alone, and it keeps him busy, and he's still very good, steady hand, good, mental ability, he's still really good at what he does, and he's old school, which I like, so he's not trying to fill every indention in my teeth. And it's good for him, because if he just retires and doesn't do anything, I know his type.
What I'm talking about is somebody that has, wife at home. And
oh yeah, like
they can do stuff.
Yeah.
They can enjoy their retirement. Is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
No, well, I'll probably have to work till I'm 70 regardless.
Who knows by the time we get retirement age? But you know
what?
what?
Let y'all invite all your friends to subscribe to Jtwes, and I can retire on it. I'm gonna have to keep working public work.
Yeah. Larry Terrell is on, joining from Reedsville.
Hey, Larry.
And Danny says, I finished my college course in 1977 to be a mechanic. Stan, you got me by a little bit. And Joey, you also did mechanics, but that was what, in the 90s?
Automotive technology degree.
Yeah. Joseph Lott says, I'll be 61 this Friday. So happy early birthday, Joseph.
Happy birthday, Joseph. He's got me. Is he the same one that said he was born in 61?
No.
But, yeah, okay.
He'll
That's
be
right, 'cause,
61.
Yeah, he'll be 61.
Because if you're born in 61, you're 63 now.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't, age on me, I don't care. I'm 53, and praise the Lord, he let me live that long.
Elliot Lindsay's on.
Hey, Elliot.
Finally made it. Been one of those Mondays today. Hello, Jtwes. And that's fine, Elliot. We're glad to have you,
Yes,
even
we
if it's
are,
late. Cornbread is on.
Cornbread, just need buttermilk now.
Hello, people. And Brian says, I found 2 king discs today on Marketplace for $1,000 each.
Oh, wow. That's pretty good. That's pretty pricey right there.
I know, I was thinking that too. But, you know, they probably know what they have, and they're like, oh, these aren't.
Well, I mean, that'd have to be in real good shape for $1,000.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I mean, you know.
Oh, and Jay Pill said, my son is visiting your lovely country at the moment in New
right.
York. In New York for the week.
Well, I'm not sure that's the best place for him to
Well,
be.
I know, because New York is wonderful for tourists. Because,
Yeah,
you know, if
is.
you stay in certain parts of the city, like he can go see Madison Square Garden and the Rockefeller Center with the tree and the ice skating rink. You know, I'd like to do that one day, but
Right.
I don't know how I'll get there.
You know who fixed that skating ring, don't you?
Mm-mm.
Trump.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
What do you mean fixed it? Like there
It
was a problem with it?
Yeah, when they were building it or something, it was over budget, it was overdue, and nobody could get it, and nobody could fix it, and they called him up, and he brought his company in there, and they had that skating ring done, finished, boom.
Which I can barely ice skate. I've only been one time in my life. And TV makes it look like it's easy to ice skate, like you glide. No, I had to sit there and pump my legs like I was a hockey player going for a goal, like just constantly. And I just didn't, maybe it was the ice wasn't done upright, but it was very tedious for me just to make one round. So, you know, and like I say, back to the whole mindset thing, I don't think, you know, I mean, I think I could try it again now, but,
I could probably do it.
yeah.
I can do rollerblade.
Yeah. Well, and I still do boogie boarding, like in the ocean.
See, that's what that's what
I like
farming
that.
does for you. I truly believe that I can walk on stilts like I do and rollerblade because I housed the bike in a stick barn.
Yeah, I gave you that
Gave me
balance.
that walking down those tier poles.
Yeah, I gave you that
I
balance
I
too.
really do. All those years in that stick barn, walking down those poles,
Yeah.
I think did it. Because when I first time I ever stood on those stilts, I was like, man, this ain't that bad. It's like housing the bike up.
Joe said, Joe with the W, or I'll say Joe W, says, I just done a video on welding cast iron, LOL.
Woo. Nickel rod.
Janice is on. Hey,
Hey,
Janice. Where's Roger at? Is he on here yet? No.
No, don't skip ahead. You'll lose your place.
No, I won't. I'll find. Abby and Jordan says, good evening, everyone.
Hey, Abby and Jordan.
And Paul says, learn to weld in a booth, then do some actual welding laying in the most uncomfortable spot and your pants are on fire.
Yeah, one of my favorite Wrangler shirts, I looked down at that the other day, and if you want to know which favorite shirt it is, just look at the video where I welded the hitch for the 300. Had holes all in it.
Yeah.
On it. My favorite shirt got little holes all in it.
Well, you knew what you knew the
And
risk.
I didn't see the holes till I was at church one night, and I looked down, and I was like, man.
Jay Pill says, was at secondary school for most of the 80s here in the UK.
Oh, okay.
And Sundowner is saying happy birthday to Joseph.
J. Pill, is your son going to be able to go anywhere else other than New York, or is it just going to be in the city there? I'm just curious.
Sundowner, oh yeah, Sundowner already said happy birthday, Joseph. I said that. James Atkins is on.
Hey, James.
Or Atkinson, excuse me. And James says, I think every child should learn how to weld with a stick welder.
Yeah, I did some stick welding in high school, and then everything else I've done is MIG. I wouldn't mind practicing a little bit on stick welding again myself. I always kind of like chipping the slag off. Just see what you had when you. It's kind of like a little opening up a birthday present. Just see what you had, or if you're a real good welder, you had that thing peeling back on you as you weld it.
Um, and
And did you say there was an Abby and is that new?
no, they've been on for a few weeks
Okay.
now. Yeah, Abby and Jordan. We like having them. Um, Avery says, happy early birthday, Joseph. And Joey Neal says, started working on my exhaust manifold, got the right side off, but one bolt will not come out. Guess I get to work on it tomorrow.
Joey, are you going? Well, if you can and you got the stuff to do it, go ahead and weld a nut on it and back it off that way, and you won't have to worry about the drilling and all this other stuff. But they do have a kit that will line a drill bit up on that stud if you need if it's recessed into the head where you can't weld something to it. They do make a kit, and if you wasn't so far away, I'd tell you to come to the house and get it because I got it for my truck. But the only thing I changed about my kit, it came with right-hand drill bits, and when I bought some replacement drill bits for it, I bought left-handed drill bits because I mean, hey, there's a chance that you get halfway through one of them little studs, and if it's not super, super, super tight, you'll back it out. So I don't know why the kit wouldn't come with left-hand drill bits. You would think that would be, but anyway, uh,
I'm sure Martha would say, yeah, we can go by there again on the way to the, let's have
on
another
the way to
beach
the
trip.
beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's try the winter beach trip.
But I would if you can. I'd get a machine shop to true up the original exhaust manifolds on there. I just feel like, and it may be all in my head. I just feel like they're cured out. They went through some heat cycles. They went through a warp, and if you true them up now, I feel like they may stay.
Paul Ford said retired at 57 and loving it.
There you go, Paul. That's what I'm talking about right
Well, and now Timbo is retired at 53 and loving it.
there. Yeah, Timbo. Yeah.
Paul Ford says 61 now.
Okay.
They're 61. And Lathe Man is on.
Lathe Man.
Lathe.
Lathe Man.
Lathe Man says, hello, I enjoyed the heck out of that 140 video.
Thank you, sir.
Nice job. My 140 came with a single plow and a Howard rotavator with select-a-tilt. Select-a-tilt, so you can change the RPMs on the tines and a seed planter.
Oh, that's pretty good. Guys, there was some footage I didn't get in there. And what I had did is you know, when I show my quote unquote, you know, it's kind of everybody watches the channels know I don't have a chisel plow, but I call it my chisel plow. But anyway, when I was showing that, I meant to put in some footage of just a regular, what we call a jitterbug, field tiller. You know, we got different names. And my point was showing that 3-point conversion hitch is if you couldn't get a fast hitch and you wanted a little tiller or a jitterbug like that, that's another piece of equipment you can use behind it. But I forgot to get that in there, but I mean, it's...
And then Avery, he said, will you sell any of that, Lathe Man?
Sell what?
He listed that he got with his 140.
Oh, did he?
What his 140 came with.
They were trying to...
Yeah.
What was it called?
He's trying to make a deal.
What's it called when the preacher says somebody from another church? Yeah.
Yeah, apostolize.
Proselyte.
Proselytize, yeah.
Yeah, he proselyte equipment.
Danny says, I retired in 2010, shut down all my companies. I work more now than I did then.
Oh, I guarantee it. Yeah, but look what you do, Danny. Golly, you're running basically 2 farms.
Jay Pill says that his son's staying near the Twin Towers Memorial.
Oh, cool.
And Avery said, my papa used to walk from my house to the tobacco barns shoeless to check everything so it would get out of rhythm.
Okay, you're going to have to repeat that one.
He says, my papa used to walk from my house to the tobacco barns shoeless to check everything so it would get out of rhythm, is what it says. But I don't know.
He'll probably tell us in a second.
Yeah, what he meant.
I ain't been shoeless in a while. It's I think I ran out back in the summer and got something from my van, Sheila.
Yeah,
And when I hit that gravel, I was, oh,
yeah, that's how I am too. I walked across the gravel this summer and I was like, oh man, my feet aren't like they used to be. But every summer I always end up walking outside barefoot just because, it's easy. Like one of the cats are doing something dumb, so I have to run out there.
yeah.
But I'm constantly barefoot in the summer.
Yeah, you see people talk about being bare. You need to be barefooted a lot and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't know. I mean, they had sandals a long time ago.
Yeah,
I mean, they did. They
yeah.
even
Man figured out quick we
yeah.
need something on the bottom of our feet. Stan says, Danny, I work like a rented mule in the 6 summer months, but a recliner slug while in Florida. Well, that's good. That's a good balance, is that he's still working hard, but then he still gets to enjoy his
He does.
retirement. So, his winter months are slower. Paul said, your shirt is a church shirt now. It's holy. And Warstead said, Wyoming Tech Automotive grad in 1984 here.
All right.
And Steve Elder's on. Evening, y'all from Lineville, Alabama.
Hey, Steve.
Uh,
When I was in college for automotive technology and applied sciences, that's what it was called. uh, the diesel stuff that we worked on happened to be those glorious GM converted 350 engines into diesels with those Rosamaster injection pumps. We learned how to rebuild one of them, and I thought it was pretty neat because my automotive instructor he pulled the plunger or something out of that Rosamaster pump, and then he had a hold of the tail end of it, and he put it back in there, and his point was is the tolerances were like less than 1 or 2 microns, and he pulled it out again and held it in his hand. He didn't hold it in his hand no more than 30 seconds, and then when you try to put it back in there, the heat difference from his hand made it where it wouldn't go in that pump. And yeah, it's just something you remember, that the heat from his hand made that metal not fit back together because the tolerances are that tight. What? We ain't got no skeeters in here.
I know, but I really just felt like something bit my neck. J. Pill says, oh no, Steve Elder also said, ask Danny from Pecan Grove about the drones. Have a good Christmas. JD
Yeah,
Nut
he
58.
he may know what they are. At least Danny and Trump knows what they are.
Yeah. J. Pill says, I think he was going to hire a vehicle and get out of the city. His son, who's
Oh,
in
really?
New York.
And get out of the city?
Yeah, like take a car out and
Oh,
go
okay,
look at
cool.
some stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of farmland.
Tell him to go. Well, I don't want him to go.
Yeah, that's too far. That's too far
Well,
to
no,
drive.
if he went upstate, it's going to get colder and snower, and I don't want him to get snowed on. So I don't know. Maybe he could go out towards Pennsylvania way. I don't know. I don't know enough about the area.
Yeah, and I don't know how long he's staying and how far he can go, and if he's driving.
And do you notice they always do that drone stuff over a city? They would, if they did
Oh
that,
yeah,
if
no,
they,
they
did that
know
in
better.
Caswell County,
Yeah, they know better than to do it somewhere else.
Katie bar the door.
Right.
And things would be on the ground less than 10 minutes after they were in the air.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it just.
No, well, in New Jersey, somebody was shooting at one in New Jersey.
Well, I know, but you let them do that in Caswell County.
Let's see. T. Hawkins says, I'm a police chief. The way things are getting, I'm looking forward to retirement at 50. I'm sure, T. Hawkins. I can only imagine between that and teachers.
Yeah.
One of our teachers locally, not in my county, but the county over that I know a lot about, was just arrested because they shoved a student, and it's a male teacher, shoved a student out the door. And I'm just like, that's an arrestable offense. And a lot of people are coming to that teacher's defense because, one, he's a good teacher, and two, they're like, what was that kid doing?
Yeah.
What's the whole story here? Because I'm sure he deserved that and a lot more to be pushed out of the door, but, that's just another situation where it's just very hard on our public servants because of the general population just not having home training like they should. So T. Hawkins, I'll be praying for you too for safety, because that is a tough job. Safety and wisdom for
Yeah.
that position. That's a lot of on your shoulders. Joey says, got the kit, been drilling on it, but the easy out doesn't want to grip it. Done went too far to weld a nut on it. I think it's going to be a tough one.
Oh, well, that kit, Joey, if it's lined up right, it's got 3 different steps on it. You got the first drill bit, the second drill bit, and the last one, which supposedly, if it's lined up correct, takes it out, everything just minus the threads. And then all you have left is just, again, and this is if it's lined up in the center. I want to say the one that I did, that I end up welding on to it, that I would have had to went to the full extent of the kit, which is to the largest drill bit. I may have been off just a little bit on that one, but yeah, that's just, if you can get a light and look up in there, and if you're centered on it, I'd go all the way with it. And of course, that's easy to say when we're not talking about a $3,000 head here.
Joe with the W says, I really enjoy y'all doing this live. It feels like a good fellowship.
It is.
Thank you, Joe. Yeah, we try to keep
That's
it.
why we do it, guys. I tell Lino, I don't have, and it doesn't bother me if I don't have tons and tons of people watching, but I just like keeping y'all guys involved in what's going on.
Yeah,
and stuff.
and I do watch some lives where comments are going so fast. I feel like you don't get to know anybody.
Poor Danny, man, he's got his live streams. I don't see how he reads the first.
Well, you just pick one. I mean, but I like ours because you guys ask a lot of questions and tell me about yourselves, so it's a good conversation, and I'm not just randomly just going from one thing to another.
Well, I mean, one day it could get like this.
It could, but I'll remember these names here of our faithful.
Yeah, you tried. Yeah, I'm sure Danny probably tried to do that. He probably tries to keep the ones that he sees a lot.
Yeah, and then plus a lot of these people we've met personally.
Yeah.
And so you get invested in their lives too. Sundowner said, Avery says, let me know about any 140 needs because I have 2 local dealers. Thank you, Avery.
Thank you, Avery.
And Sundowner says, drones just fall out of the sky here. Have no idea. And Avery also says we have a 366 big block in our grain truck.
Oh.
And Warstead says those GM 350 diesels were horrible.
Yes, they were.
Oh, and there's the Cajun Homestead. Made it. Sorry I'm late.
He's there.
Hey, Cajun Homestead. And Avery says theirs is gas. Theirs isn't diesel.
Oh, okay.
Lathman says, I will be 62 this Sunday. Another early birthday. Happy early birthday, Lathman. I quit my day job at 50 and started working full-time at my machining business. CNC lathe is my specialty, hence the lathe. Good job. And that's another big demand, machining. It's a skill. It's a skilled profession that's in demand.
Well, here's the thing with him. The stuff he knows will be lost. Because now what he knows and does with his hands and dialing in the lathe is done by a computer now.
Yeah, yeah.
And so the stuff he knows will be lost.
There's a lot of stuff done by computer now that, like driving is lost. Driving a stick shift or driving without cameras, like using your mirrors.
Well,
that's
Paul
you're
said
losing that.
When he had to get another truck, they asked him, did he want a manual or automatic, or could he drive a manual? Because he said there's some drivers that can't drive manuals; they have to have automatic.
Joey's work truck, it has auto dim lights, like they go bright, and then a car comes and they shut off. So when he drives his white truck, he blinds everybody because he's so used to that work truck now.
No, it's just I'd be anything. I told you why I don't dim them, because I forget.
No, you can't say that.
If it was on the floor, what I learned with, I'd do it every time. I don't know why they took them off the floor. It was so convenient.
So I have to be the nagging wife, be like, your brights are on, your brights are on. And then I just let the other people flash them. I'm like, I'm not telling them anymore.
Well, I'm telling you, if it was on the floor, I could do it.
Well,
I remember it. I mean, it was so simple. Both hands on the steering wheel. Cha-chink.
Look,
Cha-chink.
I'm pretty sure my dad had a car that we did that with, but I don't remember if I ever did it. For some reason, I feel like I know that motion, like I've done it.
Oh, you'd remember because no, you didn't do it because your feet never touched the floor.
Well, I could press it down with the top, like that. That's how I do the gas.
Literally.
Don't get started with everybody hating on my driving skills.
Standing on the pedals.
Yeah.
Standing, literally.
And I need to find some wood to knock on.
Yeah.
I've never had a speeding ticket, never had an accident, and I'm a very safe driver.
Well, I agree with
I'm
that.
an excellent driver.
I agree
I'm an
with
excellent driver. Like Rain Man. I'm an excellent driver.
You are the world's best co-pilot.
I am.
Yeah, I
That's what
know.
I'm here for. I'm more of a team driver. Sundowner says he needs to go see Upper New York State. It's beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Guarantee it.
Timbo says we have drone busters here in East Tennessee. Pew pew.
Yeah,
Drone busters.
We got them, too.
Danny Henley's on.
Hey, Danny Henley.
Joey, I was working at GM dealer. Remember all about those gas converted.
Yeah, that's before those auto manufacturers wised up and said, you know what? Let's get an expert in the diesel to build our engine.
Oh, Avery, he said that Coca-Cola looks good right now.
It was good. I don't buy no 12 packs Coca-Cola. I try to limit my Coca-Cola to 6 ounces at a time about every other day. And if I'm gonna do that, I just get the little bottle.
Janice said, I pray everyone has a blessed and Merry Christmas. You too, Janice.
Thank you, Janice.
And Avery's saying good night. Good night, guys. Yes, get in bed. It's 9 o'clock bedtime, Avery.
Oh, it is.
I know he's on our schedule or on our time zone. So,
Yeah.
yes, go to bed, Avery. You got exams. Brian says, a few weeks back, Mom called me and said she's found something I would want. And it was original owner's manual for a coal planter.
Oh, cool.
Been looking through it, and it's a lot of adjustments I didn't know.
Make copies of it.
He's going to have to take a picture of every page and send it to you, text it.
Run that thing through a copy machine.
Joey Neal says, I agree, they should have left the dimmer on the floor.
Yes, Lord have mercy.
And Brian says, it gives a lot more depth about seed spacing on his coal planter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to have something like that for my international planters.
He says, video coming soon. So that's Farm Boy 59 if you want to see the coal planter video. Sundowner says, hey, Leno, as long as he don't need a go straight button, you're all good. Need to watch the life and times of Noah Dearborn. Yeah, the go straight button, the whole, if you're going out of your lane a little, it goes dee-dee-dee-dee.
Oh, yeah.
Lane
I
assistance.
don't like him.
Yeah.
I cut mine off.
Look, Joey is all about worrying about computers.
Telling me how to drive.
I'm all about computers because with today's society, computers are so much safer and smarter than people. So I'm all about it. Let the computer do stuff.
Never forget, a man made the computer.
I know, but you can make a program and the program will run over and over perfectly, 100%.
There's no program on earth that can calculate as much as your brain.
Yes, there is.
No, it's not.
There is. We're going to have this we don't want to have this argument here with all of them.
You're thinking of calculations like your brain, just for your eyes to see what it has to take in through your eyes to calculate to show you the picture. A supercomputer couldn't do it. I'm telling you.
Okay. Cajun Hope says that we just got in another $200,000 Haas 5-axis milling machine.
Good gracious.
Bad thing, when they crash, it's expensive to fix.
I bet.
And Sundowner says, I'll never have a truck with electric steering. And Stan says, Leno, what about Skynet? Is that from Terminator?
Yeah.
Well, that's a little bit fiction, but I just know there's a lot of computers.
I don't know how far it is now.
There's a lot of computers that have saved a lot of lives with their accuracy that physicians and machines have been a problem for human error. Look how many planes used to go down all the time. And I mean commercial planes. And because technology and computers have gotten better, it's kept them safer.
Well, yes, that, and in the auto industry, cars are built better because of robots. I get that and stuff, but I'm just saying that the the brain is a computer unmatched like anything. But uh, Stan, you mentioned Skynet. Me and Lena was talking about this the other day. Uh, I wasn't old enough to see the first episode, but some of you guys out there that may have seen the first episode of Star Trek, and when William Shatner would hold the little thing in his
Oh
hand
yeah.
and he'd be looking at Spock on the screen, and everybody was probably thinking, well, that's science fiction. Now look at what we can do with an iPhone. We can FaceTime each other just like nothing.
Yeah, because I just told Joe it was very Star Trek. What did we do the other day? Um, I
Uh,
don't know if it was
I think we were FaceTiming for something.
or you sent somebody a message, a text to your watch.
Yeah,
It
I
was
may have
very
done that.
Star Trek. I just
Yeah,
know, and I don't like the Apple Watches. I just feel like it's
and it probably won't be
giving
long.
me too
It,
much something through my wrist.
I bet you the next generation of this watch, you'll be able to FaceTime like that right there.
Probably. I mean, you can use a calculator on it too, and I mean, you can
Oh, the
read your messages.
calculator is the least it'll do.
Well, Will says, if the Pharma 140 guide video gets 100,000 views, we will swap. We will V8 swap my Dakota.
That's twice he's done said
Right?
that.
Yeah. So Will's holding out that hope.
And I want to know what we in the rat in his pocket is he talking about?
You're the rat in his pocket. Sundowner says that's what brings them down, Leno. Pilot doing one thing and computer trying to do something else.
Yeah.
Right, because it's pilot error. Should have listened to the
Well,
computer.
No, the computer was messing up the Boeing Max. I think I don't know, from what I heard.
Okay. Brian says, after spending 20 years in the automotive, or 20 years plus in the automotive dealerships, you'd be surprised how many vehicles have electronic steering and don't have power steering pumps. Cajun Homestead says Dick Tracy from 1940s, wrist phone. And Stan says, guys. We know it's serious when he starts with guys. I learned computer programming using COBOL and Fortran, IBM cards to establish a program. A computer was the size of your living room. That's right, Stan. They used to be the size of the living
Yeah.
room, and all that to compute and calculate like what we would think is a simple calculation now.
No, it was said, and I think Sammy called on to this one day. He said, Dad, did you realize the first Saturn V and the first space shuttle launched, that this watch has more computing power? I said, no, son, you're wrong. It's a Timex digital watch had more computing power, not your Apple
Right,
Watch.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a foregone conclusion on your Apple Watch, but they're talking about Timex.
Will said it's called Jtwes. It's not called J. That's right, Will. Thank you for reminding him. And Warstead says artificial tree or real tree. Ours is artificial. I do love real trees. They smell
Our
wonderful.
house is too dry for that.
But yeah, I'm just so afraid of the fire hazard.
I'd have to set up an irrigation system. No, it dries the needles out.
Oh yeah,
I don't
definitely.
care how much water you got in the bottom, those needles will dry
Well,
out.
and like our last real tree, like the cats kept drinking all the water out of the tree, so that's the dry house plus the cats drinking all the water because I guess they love that pine tasting water. They're idiots. But yeah, and this artificial tree is very pretty. It's like 7 foot, and Joey got it's probably been like 10 years. And it's
been
in
a
very
while.
great shape.
Yeah.
You can't hardly see it. You should we should turn it a little
Right
bit.
before we go off
Look,
tonight. Right before
see,
we go
you
off.
only see that. So yeah, right before we get off tonight here in a little bit, I'll show you the tree. Danny says, what will blow your mind is that phone you're holding only costs a little over $11 to make. You're paying for the service, not the phone. Oh yeah,
no doubt.
yeah.
Have no doubt. And it'd probably hurt our feelings to know how much a $60,000 Cummins diesel Ram truck cost to make.
Right. I mean, just if you've got a product like the Apple iPhone that everybody is halfway addicted to, you could charge whatever you want.
Yeah.
Because people are going to get it.
Oh, I'm sure it is dirt cheap of what they make it for.
Cajun Homestead says the first CNC mill I worked on 30 years ago had punch tape and cards. Well, and I know I used to have to print stuff at work on a dot matrix printer, and it was so loud we had it in its own room. And so those were like the good old days. And you know, like we really just got computers when I started working where I worked. And so we were constantly, we would get the latest technology and just be so amazed by it. And if I could see what we have now versus what we used to have, I would think it's been 100 years worth of progress, but it's really been 25 years.
I can remember. I can remember when the teacher would make copies off of some printer that you did like this, and it had blue ink on it, and that blue ink was some good smelling stuff, boy. I mean, because when it come fresh off of
Joey
it,
sniffing ink at school. No wonder
it
there's
was
issues.
good. I remember it. I mean, because they'd roll it out like that, and it'd be on blue ink.
Well, I remember taking a credit card payment when I had like my summer jobs and whatever, or when I was in school. I had to put their credit card on that machine on the carbon paper and go like this, and they'd get a copy. We'd keep a copy. But yeah, it's.
And back then, you didn't even know if they had enough on their credit card to do it or not.
No.
Because they didn't run the card.
No, it would run it like all
Later
at one
on at
time
night,
later
yeah.
on. Yeah.
You punched them in later on at night.
Right. Danny says the new engines only weigh around 50 pounds and have 240 horsepower.
Oh, wow.
Sundowner says, LOL, that old dial-up, still hear that sound in my head, cursing it out. And then Joey Neal says, who remembers the C prompt commands to bring up your computer?
I do a little bit.
And, well, I still use like control everything. I still use, and it's because I'm older, I use all of my shortcut keys like control this and control that.
C prompt, and then you'd hit run.
Oh, like in the setup?
You would you kind of almost type the code out.
Okay.
So whatever you wanted to do, you would C prompt run /
and run whatever you want it to. Okay.
And then when you hit enter, the disk drive would start.
Okay. J Pill says, I remember that ink.
That's some good stuff, J Pill.
Sundowner says, in 1980, I paid $78,000 for a fully loaded Peterbilt, now $230,000.
Woo!
Stan says
I
another.
wish you still had that Peterbilt.
Stan says another fact: the actual labor cost for your car or truck is less than what the advertising cost is. That's a fact.
What do you mean actual labor cost?
The advertising costs more than the labor cost for your car or truck.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And Joe says those expensive $7,000 Toyota transmissions roll off the line every 46 seconds at work. Warhurst said my mother was employed. Joe with the W.
Oh, he must work.
I don't know where he works.
Yeah. Probably like
maybe
GKN or something.
Yeah. Warhurst says my mother was employed to do key card punch, and my dad was cutting edge with the dictaphone. And Johnny says our ink was purple. LOL. Yeah. But anyways, it's way past our time, 9:13. I think we need to cut it off.
Okay, well.
Oh, yeah, show the tree.
You want me to do it? Because I know how to move it better.
Well, yeah, and this doesn't show live. I mean, this doesn't show me like real time, so I can't tell you.
I'll wait till, no, you stay right there, and I'll wait till you see me get up.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm up now, ain't I? Am I going out the picture?
No, not yet.
I still ain't going out the picture?
No.
Good Lord, this is like...
All right, now you just got up. Sundowner says we had pagers, LOL, trying to find payphone. Then we got bag phones. First bill was $1,800. Wow, you learn not to call. That's right. All right, so let me see. I still can't see.
Just wait, it'll be coming. There's Leno's Christmas tree.
Yeah, I did all red and like red and silver type colors, which you really can't see the beauty of it because we got blinding lights on in the living room right now. But it looks so beautiful and peaceful at night, and I just love it. So anyway.
All right, guys. Thank y'all. God bless y'all. God loves you, and we will see you
next
later.
Tuesday, we'll be on Tuesday. We'll do a Christmas Eve edition instead of Monday night.
Christmas Eve edition.
All right.
Stan said, nice tree. Good job. Farm Boy said,
I don't see my gift. You see how there's no gifts yet.
I'll give you that blanket right there.
I can't trust the people here. I can't put gifts under the tree.
All right, we'll see y'all guys.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.